All right, guys, what's going on? Back at it another week. A lot of sports ahead. Peyton, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great, man. Let's try to have a speed run episode as I'm excited for this Thursday night game between the Bengals and Ravens. Obviously, this episode's going to come out on a Friday, but that's what's coming up here pretty soon. So let's do it.
Let's get through it, man. So for you guys who don't know, this is the Full Pour, and we do this every week. We record on Thursdays, but we air on Fridays. So me and my guy, after the episode, we like to kick it and watch some sports. Basketball, football, it doesn't really matter what it is, but tonight there is a big game, so let's do it, man.
Let's get into it.
Just so you guys know, you can follow us on all social media platforms at the Sportaholics, and if you have not already, please make sure you smash that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let us know your thoughts on this weekend's episodes and you know what you thought about sports going on this weekend. So with that being said, Peyton, I'm not going to be too wordy tonight, man. What we drinking?
Yeah, we have another edition of Evan Williams. I don't even know if they can see it because it's frosty, ice cold
that thing
right now.
Looking good.
It's looking good, right?
Yes,
it's the Evans Williams Peach version, okay? This might be our second favorite. So Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey blended with peach liqueur and caramel color.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to pour it up right now.
Let's do it. While he pours that up, man, we got a lot coming up ahead for you guys. We got Drink of Choice, Would You Rather, the Game of the Week, and we also have our Pick and Play segments, as well as our Coach 'em Up segment. That's our favorite segment, and that will round up the show. So sit back, relax. We're going to do the first toast like we always do, and we'll see you on the other side of the intro.
See you on the other side.
Let's go, man.
Let's do it. Another one. So, Russ, every now and then I like to take a look at the NFL's salary cap hits for individual players, and I make some observations based off of that, right? So I think this gives us a good idea of where the contending teams are spending their money based on what positions and players are getting paid on these contending teams, right?
Okay.
So throughout the entire league, I really noticed a common thread.
What is that?
So for the most part, all current division leaders, especially in the AFC, they spend their money the same way. Now, before I get into it, I have one more sentence here. We all know the game is cyclical, and also different types of teams can have different success in different eras, right?
Right.
So, but as far as the way NFL teams are spending their money in today's day and age with the contending teams, veterans along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Right? So doesn't mean you can't draft wideouts or draft defensive backs in early rounds in the NFL drafts, but when it comes to free agent acquisitions, contract extensions, those guys in the middle, those guys in the trenches, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed while I was at it, you know, it is a quarterback-driven league, right?
Right.
I decided to take a closer look at the salary cap hits for that position at the top. So like the top 5 guys. Russ, did you know that 4 of the 5 top paid guys in terms of salary cap numbers for the quarterbacks, 4 of those top 5 guys are on teams that do not have a winning record this year?
I can see that. The money is spent in one area. Too many eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Yep. Those guys would be Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and Tua.
Yeah.
And the one guy that is getting paid in that group that has a winning record, Jordan Love, he's even missed some games, and his backup has won some games for that team.
Right.
So with all that said, there are really no guarantees in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And oftentimes coaching and leadership is understated. And I really think, to sum it up, there are really 2 ways to win in this league, right?
How's that?
You find your star quarterback and you pay them early as you can, like the Bills did with Josh Allen, like the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes, and you build around them, especially along the line of scrimmage. Or if you can't do that, you do what the Steelers have done. And you don't pay that quarterback position, but you build up along the lines of scrimmage. In particular, you build up a defense.
Wow.
So that's kind of what I'm seeing at the midpoint of the NFL season.
Yeah.
What's winning in the NFL today amongst the contending teams.
Yeah.
You pay the vet. It doesn't mean like the Chiefs drafted Trent McDuffie, a great cornerback in the first round, and he had major impact in last year's Super Bowl. But he's a young defensive back.
Right. They drafted Xavier Worthy, who came in and made a major impact. So I agree with you there, man. I think any smart team in the NFL right now, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and on the defensive side of the ball as well, you pay those guys in the middle, or and they're going to make a major impact in the game. And it's not to say that, like you said, you can't pick up young players or skilled players in the draft, but those players are coming around more often than finding good interior linemen. So I agree with your point, man. Excellent rant there. Excellent rant.
Thank you. So what's yours?
Let me go ahead and jump into this rant, right? I don't want to hear any more talk about Coach Prime not being a good coach. All right. Before I get into the technicals, I want to talk about some of the off the field actions, right? Look at the impact he's made for the institution, right? Applications and enrollment has gone up. Ticket sales have improved. That's bringing more money into the school, right? I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, and you're a wizard, so you might know this, but do you know what Deion Sanders' contract is worth?
Wow. I don't. I'm not even going to try to guess.
He got 5 years, $30 million.
Oh.
Right? And I'll get to that in a second, right? But Deion has impacted and openly loved all his players in ways that we don't normally see from coaches. You can see him hugging his players. You can see him lifting them up from the social media posts. And I know that social media shows us everything that we need to see and not everything that we really want to see, and it shows us the positive parts, right? But from what we see Deion being that coach that most of us who grew up playing sports really wanted to play for. Okay, so with that being said, man, this is what stands out to me the most, right? He's turning his athletes into men first, and that's what we really want to see from these coaches. And now on the field, before he became the coach, do you know how many games they won in the season prior to him becoming the head coach?
One.
They won one game, Peyton.
Yeah.
All right. So they went from winning one game in a season to being contenders in the conference.
Yes.
Right. So they have turned this thing around, and you can definitely thank Deion for that. This is his second season at the school, right? And he's made a major impact.
Yeah.
A bigger impact than any coach in the college level.
Yeah.
Right now, currently coaching, right? So
year two, I would vouch for that.
Right. So do not tell me that this guy is not worth more than what he originally signed on for. He's done more than what his contract has required him to do. So I say all that to say congratulations to Deion. I knew that you would do an excellent job at Colorado. I've always been on your side. And also I seen the potential when you were at Jackson State. We saw how much camaraderie you brought to that school and how much you did for that school. And I think everything that you're doing for the sport of college football is an understatement. And everybody that's against you, they're major haters. And if you don't have haters, you know what they say, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing it right. So that's me, man. That's my little rant.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
He is balling, and they have a chance to make the college football playoff.
Yes.
Straight up.
They on the outside looking in right now, but you know, if they win their conference,
yeah,
they're in.
They're in.
So
yeah,
we'll see how. I think they still have work to do as a school, as an institution, and as a football program. But you can't deny where they are today, looking back 2 years ago.
That's a big time jump.
Yeah.
To be in year two and be looking like this, totally agree.
You don't see that too often. You know, and yeah, they're not ranked number one, but all this guy ever wanted was a chance. And we don't know how many doors closed in his face before he got this chance at Colorado. So you can tell that he coaches like he loves the game. That's number one. We always knew that he loved the game. Number two, you could tell that he has a chip on his shoulder. And you could tell that he wants to see everybody that he brings in his program be successful, whether it's on the field or off the field. So major props to him.
Major props.
All right, moving on, man. LeBron James and John Morant go back and forth. Both hitting the too small move on the court. John Morant did it first, and then LeBron came back with a major play, backing down a player in the paint and turning around with a jump shot, and then he hit the too small move. They went back and forth doing this, and I love when the referees allow the players to play.
Me too.
And, you know, It was very exaggerated, and it could have easily been called a technical foul, but it wasn't. So they let the players get their emotions out, and they didn't stand in the way of good competitive basketball. So I love when that happens. Now, Ja popped his ish after the game, letting everybody know, like last year, the Lakers came in here and they ran it. True enough, but I was in street clothes. You know, like last year, we know that he was hurt. But I just want to know from you, Peyton. Do you think Ja Morant is like that? Does he turn the Grizz into a true contender?
Hey, I love that you brought these two players up, in particular Ja Morant. I've always been a big Ja Morant fan, as are you.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, 100% they're a contender. I need to go look at the Grizzlies roster to make sure, but I know they still got Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, some other guys like that.
Yeah.
I saw some highlights from that game.
Yeah.
I think Ja has gotten insurmountably better than he was a year or two ago. I know he had the injury.
Yes.
Just watching him finish outside of the paint.
And we both know that he's lightning in a bottle, right?
Yeah.
But if he can be consistent with that outside jumper and, you know, shooting threes and improve his game that way, we know he's good off the dribble. We know that he can slice to the basket at any time. Like, he's a threat to score anytime he has the ball in his hand. But if he can pull defenders out of the lane when he has the ball, no telling what his Grizz team will be. So the question, to answer my own question, yes, he's like that. Okay, he's definitely like that.
Yeah. And
they might not be contenders this year. Will they make the playoffs? It's possible.
Sure.
At least play in, right? At least the play-in tournament. But I do think that they still have more work on their roster to improve. And we'll see how far they can get this season. But he's definitely like that.
I'm going to go Stephen A. Smith here for a second. And I don't normally do that.
Let's go.
Hey, when you're talking about Ja Morant, box office. I'm talking about... You know, if you look at the past decade of the NBA, the guys that have kind of carried the torch, carried the league, carried viewership, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, like in that class, he's next up.
No, for sure. Like when you talk about what he brings to the game, the explosiveness. Now, I will do a comp here. Ja Morant, Russell Westbrook. Explosive to the paint.
Sure.
Attitude out of this world.
Yep.
Carries that chip on his shoulder like nobody gonna be able to stop me.
Kind of brings an old school attitude.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I only compare him to Russell Westbrook because I'm thinking about Russell Westbrook when he was at the Thunder by himself, right? When I can't remember what team it was that he was playing. Maybe it was the Thunder still. But when Russell Westbrook had to become a leader on a team, we saw a different version of Russell Westbrook. It didn't last that long. I mean, we don't see the version of Russell Westbrook that we know today. But Ja Morant has that same type of, you know, when they put that lip up and they, you know, like when when they doing all that, like, that, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
So let's move over to the NFL real quick.
All right, let's
move over.
Yeah.
So Peyton, do you know who the last remaining undefeated team in the NFL is? That goes without saying.
Yeah,
right?
that goes without saying.
Right. So the Chiefs are the last undefeated team remaining in the NFL. Will they finish the regular season like that?
Oh, we need to go through their schedule.
Okay.
We got to check it out.
All right, so let's walk through their schedule and see if they can catch an L somewhere, right? So this week they take on the Broncos.
When?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's easy.
That
one's done. Okay, we can move on.
That's a dub. Easy.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's easy. All right. The competition stiffens up next week.
Okay.
They take on the Bills in Buffalo.
Oh, that's the spot. I don't know the rest of their schedule, but that is probably the spot.
Okay. All right. So that's a toss-up game.
Yeah.
So a potential L for the Chiefs in that direction, right?
Maybe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. After that, here we go. They got at Raiders. No, not at Raiders. At Panthers.
Panthers.
Home versus the Raiders.
Home Raiders.
Yep.
Okay, they're going to be heavy favorites in both of those games.
Those are 2 dubs.
Okay.
All right, they got the Chargers and then the Browns.
The Chargers are an interesting one as well.
Okay.
And the Chargers are somewhat built like the Chiefs too. Not particularly dynamic on the outside. Like who's the Chargers' best receiver? I know the Chiefs just acquired DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
But stout on the both sides of the line of scrimmage, really. Both have good offensive lines and a good pass rush. Both great coach teams and both pretty good quarterback. Well, one excellent quarterback, a very good quarterback in Justin Herbert. So.
No, to your point, though, I think that the Chargers, for what they did to their roster from, I guess, 2 years ago, last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected them to be in the situation that they're in this year.
Fair.
So I think that, to your point, they are a really well-coached team.
But they do have them at home, right? You said it was at Kansas City.
The Chargers are at home.
Oh.
Oh, no, I mean, the Chiefs are at home. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're away versus the Browns. So they play in Cleveland. They play in Kansas City versus the Chargers.
I would give them a 50-50 shot.
Okay, so that's two potentials.
Yeah.
Okay, out of the, 1, 2, 3, 4,
well,
5,
I'm saying...
6. Two potential losses out of 6 games, so that's 4.
When I said 50-50 shot, I meant that they're already 8-0.
Yeah.
And they're smelling history in the making. If they can get past that Bills game and they're going down the stretch to go 17-0, I would give them a 50-50 proposition of actually doing that.
All right, here we go.
For an undefeated regular season.
All right, so after the Browns, they're at home versus the Texans.
Oh, that's a great one, too. Nice.
Right.
We got some great games coming up.
Yeah, and then to finish out the season, they are at Steelers, at Broncos.
Yeah.
They're going to finish the season with a dub if they don't sit their players, which we know that they're chasing history.
Yeah.
So they might not sit their starters.
If I had to put my money on it, I would say they don't go undefeated.
Okay.
But it also wouldn't surprise me if they did. What say you?
No, I don't see it as a surprise at all. I think they have a good chance, but also you did mention the Bills. I think they're going to play Chiefs football.
Yeah.
And they haven't been trying to blow teams out. They've been doing enough. They've been doing enough and it's been working. Not doing too much extra. Let's win these games. Let's control the clock. Let's take it down by down and win ball games.
Yeah.
I do think that they're saving a lot of what they have for the playoffs.
Similar to what they did last year.
Yes.
Because we saw Travis Kelce go off
Yes.
in the playoffs. So,
and I think they figured out last year the recipe, and now they're putting it into good use.
Yeah.
So, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's a great topic of conversation, man. I love that one. Yeah.
All right, Peyton, you ready for some fun, man?
I'm ready for some fun.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Let's move on to one of our, lightest segments. Would you rather?
Okay.
All right. And for everybody that's sitting at home, please let us know what you think you would rather do in this situation. All right. Would you rather get dunked on or head topped for a touchdown?
Okay, full disclosure, Russ let me know this question before the show started.
Okay. I
thought about it a little bit. There's nothing like getting posterized in the NBA, so let me get the NFL version. If I'm just a defensive back and someone mosses me in the end zone, I'll take that. What say you?
No, I'm right with you, bro. Yeah. I'm right with you. You can head top me, and here's my thing, right?
If it's Randy Moss in his prime, what am I going to do about it anyway?
It sounds wild, but head top me. I'm not trying to get dunked on at all. At all, right? One, it looks like it hurts. Like, if you dunk on me, it looked like it hurt. Like, you going up, and then you end up falling backwards. Like, a lot of things can happen there, right?
Yeah.
Two, it's wildly more embarrassing. You don't have a helmet on. Your face is super exposed. Yeah. You get those crazy pictures where the person who's going up for the dunk, they just
you're like 12 different angles.
Being dunked on is like super embarrassing.
Yeah.
When you get head topped in the NFL, it's like, okay, they scored. Let me go to the sideline, drink some water, look at my little iPad.
and we got to move on.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm with you, bro. I would rather get head top any day than get dunked on.
Man, yeah, that's a great one though. I love that. Would you rather?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get back into some ball.
All right, back into the ball.
All right,
Yeah.
so we have our game of the week segment.
Okay.
Peyton,
Yeah.
who you got for your game of the week? What you watching this week?
Man, my game of the week.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was about to say this slate Sunday.
No, stop.
The
stop,
one. Okay, go ahead.
Stop. Before you get into this, I need y'all to see this. Peyton, can you show the people your paper?
Oh Lord.
So,
I don't know what was in the printer, but Christmas came early.
Peyton is in the Christmas spirit, guys.
I'm really not though. He's more so in the Christmas spirit.
I just looked down at your paper and I just realized what you printed on.
Dude, I don't know how it happened. When it came out, I was like, no, it's too early for that. No.
Light bulb moment. Peyton, tell us about your game of the week, man. That's amazing.
That is good. My game of the week, although it's a loaded slate for the 1 o'clock window this Sunday, I don't know if you've seen it, Russ. I want to go to a bar and watch like 4 games at one time.
Well, don't talk about it, be about it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
The one game of the week I'm looking at is the Steelers and the Commanders. An inter-conference game, but it feels pretty big. Each team only has 2 losses, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the Steelers have 3.
Okay.
But even though it's not a division or conference game, each team needs to hold their end of the bargain up and maintain their race in terms of trying to get even the 1 seed or at least the division lead for their own respective divisions. The thing about Jaden Daniels, to be honest, so far this season is that he's a lot like Lamar Jackson in that he can neutralize a defensive front.
I agree.
In 2 separate ways, in the run game and in the pass game.
I agree.
When you go to the run game and you start running the read option and you've got 1 unblocked defender, you let that offensive line go to work. Now your halfback is happy because he's just running behind an offensive line with numbers. When you drop back to pass, this weekend TJ Watt's going to have to respect the fact that Jaden Daniels can escape the pocket and he's got to maintain rush lane integrity. So he can really neutralize a defensive front, which the Steelers obviously have a great one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for the Steelers' back end of the defense to step up and play better. That's going to be a key for me, if you will. But the Commanders are favored by 2.5. I think I would take the Commanders in this spot. Yeah.
To win by more than 2.
I hate laying points, so I would probably go money line and just swallow a little bit of cash.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, I went college ball here.
Okay.
All right, so I actually have 2 games.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and I'll run through them really quickly, right?
Okay.
All right, so my first game is number 2, UGA versus Ole Miss, sitting at number 16, right?
Yeah.
Major room for an upset here. Ole Miss has nothing to lose. That's why I love this game. They have nothing to lose, right? If they lose, they're out. If they win, they still got a chance.
100%.
Right? So as a ball player, if I'm not going to go forward in my season, if I lose, why should I let you win? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I putting you in a situation where you're just going to carry? So I'm expecting Ole Miss to come out and play balls to the wall here.
Okay.
I'm expecting them to come out and play. So they look better this year than they have in the past.
Yep.
Right? And Carson Beck, right? Carson Beck is a major. He has his own issues from the pocket. We've seen him struggle this year. So with that being said, advantage Ole Miss. Advantage Ole Miss because they're at home.
Yeah.
And like I said before, if they're not going to make the playoffs, I think they should make it as difficult as they can on the dogs of UGA.
I'd love to tap in on this game real quick.
Go ahead.
Something that the experts have been talking about in regards to this game that I agree with. In years past, Ole Miss hasn't really been able to compete, particularly along the line of scrimmage in these types of games against a Georgia and Alabama.
Right.
With guys like Walter Nolan now on Ole Miss's defensive front, and they're a great offensive line as well, a lot of the experts and a lot of the people that follow college football closely are saying, hey, this is a great chance for Ole Miss to stand up and say, hey, we have the guys on the front line now that can do it.
Yeah.
And they are, like you said, they already have 2 losses. They got everything to play for. They need to win or they're out. Mm-hmm. I love that spot from you. So,
hey, listen, I think this is going to be a bigger game than casual college football fans would think so, right? I'm going to be tapped into this game, and I'm going to be locked and loaded, and Saturday is going to be an amazing day. You know why? Hey, Peyton, you know why Saturday is going to be great?
Yeah.
Why is it going to be great, Peyton?
I know I'm going to be wrong right here, but just because it's another college football Saturday. No, why?
Peyton, tell the people where you going on Saturday.
Oh, snap. I'm making a big trip. As you all know, we reside in Central Florida.
Yep.
I am taking my talents to Louisiana for the weekend because I want to be in attendance for the Alabama at LSU game. Is that your second game of the week?
That is my second game of the week.
Oh, man. Okay.
That is my second.
That's a big one.
And I don't have much on this game. I'm not going to really get into all the, the chalk talk and everything like that. But this is a game that I'm actually really looking forward to. If you are a watcher of the show, if you view this show pretty often, you know exactly how I feel about Alabama, right? So this is why it's a big game for me. This would be the first time in many, many years where Alabama isn't in contention for the national championship if they lose, right? So I think it's kind of like when we were watching. So here's the thing. When Tom Brady was at the New England Patriots, at some point you had to say, man, this is greatness, and you had to respect it. You know what I mean? So in college sports, it's different. Like when you have those teams that's winning year after year after year after year, you're like, bro, all right, let somebody else get a chance, right? And we've seen Alabama take a step back or two in recent years. Now, it's not just this year, in recent years, right? So I think if LSU can find a way to win this game, they have a chance to get in. Right. And right now they're sitting at number 15. Alabama's sitting at number 11. So LSU is right on the outside looking in. LSU is on the inside looking out. So this is why I'm really looking forward to this game. And you know, and here's my thing. Before you cut me off, right? Yeah. Sadly, I'm a little afraid of this spot because I think even if Alabama loses, they still will be sitting at number 12. Even if they lose, they'll still be sitting at number 12. Right? It's not gonna take. This won't be a bad loss on their record, like they already have on their record, right? They already have 2 bad losses on their record, but right now this is why it kind of scares me. But I'm on the up and up for LSU. Yeah. So I'm really looking for a good game, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it right here, Peyton. Let's go Tigers, man.
Let's go, man. Let's go right Tigers, here, man. I love it.
Yes,
I love
it.
it.
Yes, sir. So that's really all I got to say about this one, man. I'm really looking for a good game, and I think that LSU has an opportunity to put them on the outside. Whether I think it's going to happen that they're going to be on the outside of the college football playoff, if they lose 3 games, then it should be over for Alabama, right? It should be over.
Really, either team.
Okay.
It should be.
Yeah. So
now, as you were talking, I was just thinking about this game, and most of the time when you get games like this, a lot of the commentators and analysis around the game will be, look at these teams' similar paths to get here and look at how similar they are. It's kind of like they're mirrors of each other. These teams are completely juxtaposed to each other. When you look at the quarterbacks specifically.
Okay.
Jalen Milroe for Alabama, Garrett Nussmeier for LSU. One is hyper athletic, hyper mobile, questionable accuracy at times.
I don't know about at times, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's to put it lightly.
Okay. Yep.
The other is not hyper athletic, hyper mobile, but utilizes his arm strength and can be extremely accurate at times.
Right.
Okay.
So wait, go ahead. Finish your statement, because I gotta ask you this question. But go ahead.
Go ahead and ask me.
Well, what do the people that's sitting at home have to do in order to get some type of view from your standpoint when you get to the game, when you get to Louisiana? Like, are you going to College game day?
Oh, maybe. There's going to be a lot of traffic.
If you go to College game day, we need pictures, bro.
Yeah, I hear you.
We need some form of we need video, we need photos.
No, but
we need all of that.
To answer your question, man, like, in short, college football is about the atmosphere.
For sure.
So if you're just watching that game, and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago when I went back and watched the Alabama versus Tennessee game, just listen to the crowd.
Yeah. This spot,
the adrenaline pumps.
So this is another reason why I chose this game, right?
Yeah.
I feel like with LSU being at home, they have the upper hand. This stadium should be rocking throughout the entire game. Like, I'm one of those fans that I don't sit down at football games, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm really at I'm not saying LSU, this is going to happen to LSU, but if my team starts to get blown out, then I'll probably sit down. But if it's a close game, the entire game, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm rooting on my team, and I probably had a few of
yes, sir.
Few of these,
no.
few of these in me, right? So I think that this is a great spot for LSU.
Yeah. And
I really, really want them to take advantage of this spot. And you can call me a Alabama Crimson Tide hater, but I don't really care.
My one X's and O's spot for this game, I'm going to go to LSU's defense, and it's just 2 words.
What's up?
Eye discipline. Because Alabama is going to go to that option game, whether they're an empty, whether they got 2 backs in the game. You got to watch the ball. Because Milroe's going to hold that thing, wait till the last minute, pull it or hand it off. Where's the ball at all times?
And I think that's exactly what I was thinking when you were making that statement. I think you have to keep your eye on Milroe. Like, you have to protect the edge.
Yep, like you said for Tennessee to do.
If you can protect the edge, you win the game.
Yeah.
And I think they need to take notes from Tennessee.
Sure.
I think they definitely need to take notes from Tennessee because that's like you said, I called it, and that's exactly what they need to do in order to win this game. You control Jalen Milroe, you win the ball game.
We will get at least a picture of me if I do, in fact, go to College game day. At least a picture, if not a video, if not a live. We got to do something.
I don't care if you don't go to College game day. I need to see a picture of you in the stadium.
Okay.
You got to take a picture, bro.
Okay, I'm with you.
If you could take a picture with the mascot, that'd be even better.
Oh, man. Okay, I'll try it. Mike is usually hovering on the sideline, but I'll try to get down there. We'll see.
He's boosting us up right now. He's not gonna try to get a picture with the mascot at all.
Hey, let me try to prove you wrong.
Okay, I would love for you to prove me wrong. To be honest with you, I would love for you to prove me wrong. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our pick and play segment.
Okay.
I have a special take.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a special take on this pick and play segment. And I want to go last, though.
Oh, all right.
I do want to. I want to go after you.
Okay, sure thing.
Okay, so
so I'll take it away.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So my first pick and play, we obviously go to the quarterback position, right?
Right.
What about C.J. Stroud? Because there's been a lot of criticism, a lot of scrutiny around his play in his sophomore season around the NFL, but I really think he's just being compared to the outstanding freshman and or rookie version of himself. And truth be told, that offensive line has struggled to protect.
Yeah.
So in this game, I look for their offensive line, which, by the way, they've put resources into that offensive line. Like, they're paying some guys up front. I expect them to clean some things up front, and I expect C.J. Stroud to make some plays off script that you really can't coach and show up in a big way. I'm a big C.J. Stroud fan. And they're an underdog against the Lions, so that's my pick and play quarterback this week.
Okay, all right. So for my pick and play quarterback, I actually have 2 quarterbacks this time. And I did something special. I went ahead and called this version of my pick and play the Heisman edition.
Oh, nice.
Right? All right. So we have a tight race in the Heisman. Like, no, it's really a toss-up. who's going to win the Heisman, because no one is really the leader out in front. Do have one person who's the leader and the best player in college football this year. But it's still a toss-up, right? So for my quarterback this year, you can guess one, but can you guess the other one?
So both college football, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, Cam Ward.
Okay, yes.
No, it's not Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Cam Ward is, I'm a little nervous for Cam Ward this weekend. And
Who are they playing?
They play Georgia Tech this weekend. All right, so I'm a little nervous there. And I think where Miami has been this season, they have been a little fickle when it comes to lesser competition teams. So I'm a little nervous there. I expect them to pick up the win, but by all means, that doesn't mean that I'm not nervous.
Could be close.
And as far as Dylan Gabriel, he's the quarterback of the number one team in the nation right now, right? So my only question is, how is this guy still in college? Like that's really my only question.
He's going to break the record for amount of games played by a starting quarterback.
It's ridiculous of how long. I remember this guy playing at UCF.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that was 5 years ago. Like, how are you still in college?
Facts.
You know, he's transferred to 17 different schools. Like, I don't get it, right? So that's really my quarterback option. I don't really have too much expectation for what I think they're both going to get W's this weekend. So,
hey, man, you're pulling at my heartstrings with all this college football talk. I love it.
Let's go. All right. Who's your running back?
Okay, so I know we like to mix it up here sometimes because we like a quarterback, a weapon, and a defense.
Yep.
I'm going to go to the NBA.
For
my weapon.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. What about Donovan Mitchell of the Cavaliers? Okay. I'm calling my shot. He's easily a top 15 player in the NBA right now. I don't know what kind of list y'all got out there. I mean, Anthony Davis, Jaylen Brown, those are guys that are on the edge of being like top 10, top 15, whatever the case may be. This guy is just a bona fide scorer, and I love his development throughout his career.
I like it. I would say he's in the top 15 for sure.
Dude can get hot in a hurry.
Yeah.
He's an ultimate shot maker. He can get to the hoop. He's a little like John Morant.
Okay.
They're different, but
better.
Yeah, at this point, better.
Yes, better.
So I'm just looking for Donovan Mitchell to get some recognition because we don't talk about him that much.
Yeah.
Not only us, but big-time media outlets. No one's really talking about him. And they play the Warriors on Friday. It's not a nationally televised game.
Yeah.
But the Warriors are 7-1. The Cavs are 9-0.
Yeah.
I think Donovan Mitchell shows out in that game.
So to your point, major media outlets are not talking about the Cavaliers because they don't have that big face in their organization, right? They also are a small market team. So they're not getting the same type of coverage that the Lakers would be getting, that the Heat would be getting. The Celtics, they're not a large market team. So they can really fly under the radar for the most part. So, but I love that pick by you.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see. I'm surprised. I haven't watched any Warriors basketball this year, but I'm surprised that they're sitting at 7-1.
Me too, bro. I was going to say the same thing. I haven't watched them yet, but apparently they're hooping.
Oh, wow. So, that's crazy. And I think Steph Curry wasn't he like injured quite a bit?
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
But I guess he came back sooner than expected.
Yeah.
So he's been balling. He played last night against the Celtics. So
I did see something that said that the Warriors are expecting Andrew Wiggins to have a big season, and the season kind of relies on the performance of Andrew Wiggins. So we'll see where that takes it. I guess we got to tune in. It's kind of hard. We're over here on the East Coast, and it's kind of hard to watch those West Coast games, man. But the games are starting at 10:15, 10:20, and listen, I got to go to work in the morning.
And not only that, most of the time this guy's working out too. So.
You know what's crazy? Since I started this job, I haven't been working out much. But
I know, but you still squeeze it in here and there.
I do. I try. Yeah. I try. I can't let it go completely. I gotta find some time, and Most of the time I'm working out and I'm tired. But all right.
Yeah,
So
what's your weapon?
for my weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a toss up for me because I could have played the easy option here and went Travis Hunter. But I'm not going to do that, right?
Okay.
All right. So you want to take a wild swing at who you think my...
Wait, is it another college football player?
Yeah, it's the Heisman edition. My whole pick and play is the Heisman edition. I'm only talking about Heisman candidates.
Dang, I don't want to waste any more time. Just hit me with it.
All right. Ashton Genty.
Oh, all right. Good pick. I love that.
All right, this guy, he leads the nation in rushing yards
Yep.
at over 1,500 yards. And also touchdowns with 20.
20?
He has 20 touchdowns this season,
Have we even
Peyton.
played 10 games?
He has 20 touchdowns this season, Peyton.
I didn't know that.
All right,
to be honest.
he's averaging almost 10 yards per carry at 8 yards. Almost 10 yards.
Still.
Every time he touches the ball, Peyton,
As
it's damn near a first down.
RB1, that's crazy. I get it if you're spotting a guy as running back 2,
Yeah.
but to get the bulk of the carries and still average that, wow.
So he has consistently been dominant throughout.
Yeah.
And we already talked about how this guy is standing in the backfield like Michael Myers ready to murder somebody, right? So not only that, but he has 3 games where he's rushed over 200 yards. And he's the main reason that Boise State is in the conversation. He's the main reason why they are 7-1 and 4-0 in conference play. So I'm looking for him to continue this this path that he's on.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have a real chance if they get in the college football playoff, but
Hey,
it's
at
good
least he gets to show out.
it's good to see him doing what he does. And honestly, I cannot wait to see what he does in the NFL. My main question is, will they change his stance? That is the main question. Like, will they change his stance? Will
Nah.
they say, you can't line up like that?
Nah, he gets to do what he wants to do.
You cannot line up like that. You have to fix this.
I don't think so. I think you can expect to see that stance even at the next level.
If
That's
he
my gut feeling.
If he goes to the NFL and they allow him to keep his stance the way it is, it will forever be talked about in NFL history.
I hope that happens.
It will forever be. It will.
Yeah.
It's gonna forever be talked about in college football history.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, there's no tell.
Yeah.
He stands like that every time, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, usually running backs are trying to hide if they're about to take the ball or about to pass protect. But with him, it's like,
Bro,
it looks the same every time.
it's crazy because the reason for the stance is because you have to get ready to explode, right? He's standing straight up like he's sleepwalking. Like it's crazy. So I'm interested to follow this story and 30 for 30. Y'all get ready to do a story on this guy because we need some storylines.
Explanations.
Yeah, we need something on this, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Peyton. Go ahead.
All right, last pick and play. My defense is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Why? Because they're going up against the Broncos. I didn't check Bo Nick's stat line from this past week, but I'm just going to guess he passed for like less than 200 yards against the Ravens' putrid pass defense. Right. I don't know what it was. I really don't.
Right.
But I know they only scored 10 points. So that's what I'm taking. Whoever's playing the Broncos offense, even with Sean Payton as a play caller.
You know what? I'm not going to listen to you this week because last week I took your advice, especially with Bijan Robinson, but I'm not following you and I'm not really listening to you this week because you led me down.
But Bijan, he still had like 100 yards.
He did, but he didn't score, Peyton, and that hurt me.
Yeah, that's tough.
That killed me last week.
I owe him.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go and reference our Monday show.
Our spooky show.
The Weekend Hangover. Please go and look at
no, it was the Weekend. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The Weekend
It was
Hangover.
our most recent show. Yeah.
Yes. So please go back and look at that. Trust me, I remember. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was hurt. All right, but it is what it is.
Well, who's your defense?
All right, so I don't have a defense in particular, but I have a defensive player since this is the Heisman edition of my pick and play.
All right.
Can you guess?
Travis Hunter.
Okay.
All right.
Right. So
he is remarkable.
I picked Travis Hunter in this spot because he's such a revolutionary player in today's day and age. We don't see two-way players as often as we did back in the day, whatever you want to call back in the day, right? But Travis Hunter, he has over 700 yards receiving. All right, on the defensive side of the ball. Well, before I get to the defensive side of the ball, and not only does he have over 700 yards receiving, he has 8 touchdowns. Right, and he has 2 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery on defense. But here's the kicker. The stats don't really matter because the impact that this guy has on his team and on the games that he plays in, you can't really put that on the stat sheet.
Just turn on the tape.
So, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I love Cam Ward, I think that Travis Hunter should be the front runner for the Heisman candidate.
I love that take.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah.
Cam Ward, you're doing an amazing job. Dylan Gabriel, I'm not going to lie, I haven't really watched much of you, but you just the quarterback on the #1 team in the nation. Let me go back.
For the record, they have a lot of quick game.
Yeah.
I want to see someone take away their quick game and then react off of that. What's your counter to someone taking away Oregon's quick game?
Right. And
so, yeah.
Also, they haven't really came over here to the Southeast and played anybody over here yet.
No.
So, we'll see what Oregon can do once the college football playoffs start. But as far as the Heisman goes, I think Travis Hunter should be the #1 option here. And then second would be Cam Ward. As much as I would love to see the trophy hoisted in Miami, I think the respectable play here would be giving it to Travis Hunter.
Heck yeah.
That's just me. And wherever it goes, it's gonna be, it's gonna be granted or warranted. But I would love to see Travis Hunter win it, and he's well deserving of that trophy.
Yeah.
You can't play both sides of the ball and not get a trophy. Charlie Ward, come on now, playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
That the infamous Heisman pose.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Come on, man.
I'm with that.
That's it, man. All right, so let's move on to our favorite segment. Well, my favorite segment. I don't want to.
Oh wait, are we skipping one?
No. Oh, under the most pressure. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
I truly apologize. I was ready. I was ready to wrap this up and get to the game.
Hey,
that's the only thing.
We'll just try to quick run it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do that. With that being said, man, who's under the most pressure in your eyes? And actually, I'll start.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start. All right. So I spoke about this earlier, but Alabama. All right. Alabama's under the most pressure. If they lose, they still have a chance, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very low.
Yeah.
Right. I think if they lose, it forces the committee to say enough. Enough is enough, man. We've given you way too many chances.
Yeah.
And this year, you're not really fitting the bill.
Yeah.
So by all means, as much as we want to keep you in, we just can't. We can't. We can't. And you're out the door. So Alabama, you under a lot of pressure this weekend to win this game.
Fair.
Against those Bayou Bengals.
Yeah.
Of Louisiana State. Mm-hmm. That's my take.
Okay, I love it.
Yep.
My team that's under the most pressure this week, what about the San Francisco 49ers? They have a sneaky game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? I know you saw this.
You almost made me walk out the door, man.
Yeah.
You almost made me walk out the door.
Because you know what? They're 4-4, and everybody assumed that they were going to make the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, they would not be in the playoffs.
I understand that.
So they need to wrap it up and win this game. They're playing this regular season with a bit of fire. They're playing with fire here, okay?
I'm so happy I went first. Go ahead.
And you know what? They need to perform well in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They had a game against the Cardinals at home where they gave up a double-digit lead. We know they struggled against the Chiefs in the fourth quarter. I want to see Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy close out a game. A big-time game against a pretty big-time opponent. We just saw the Buccaneers take the Chiefs to the brink. Mm-hmm. So that's my team under the most pressure.
So, amazing segue, by the way, because we can move right along into the Coach 'em Up segment.
Okay.
And my Coach 'em Up team of the week is the San Francisco 49ers, Peyton.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
So, they're going up against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Red hot Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They got the number 1 quarterback in the NFL, Baker Mayfield. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, who would have thought Baker Mayfield would be sitting at the top of the NFL? Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Yep.
The answer to that question is nobody.
I would agree with you.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. But my coaching tips for this game isn't hard at all. It isn't hard. The workhorse comes back, CMC.
He's coming back?
Oh, he's back this week.
Oh,
he's back this
okay.
week. Right? And with that being said, we're going to let him do what he loves to do the most. And that's ball out.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure he missed being on the field. And we're gonna let him loose like a kid at the playground.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna pass the ball to him. We're gonna hand it off to him.
Pitch it to him.
We might let him take snaps under center, Peyton.
Okay.
We're gonna let him do whatever he wants to do in this game. I don't care if he has to catch the ball on the sideline. I don't care. If he has to warm up in the pocket, we'll let him do that.
One time, he basically had to do that in an NFC Championship game against the Eagles.
Yeah.
If you don't remember, when Brock Purdy got hurt, and Brock Purdy was the backup. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Not only can he run the ball, he can catch the ball, and he can pass.
A little bit.
That's a take from Friday Night Lights, the movie. If you haven't seen, he'll cut your grass. just understand that he'll cut your grass. All right.
Yeah.
But with that being said, man, hopefully he can make it through the game with no major setbacks. But if he can do that, I expect a big game out of him, and he can be and will be the difference maker. And that's my Coach It Up segment.
Love that. Okay, I'll close it out real quick.
Let's go.
My Coach 'em Up team this week is the New Orleans Saints. Well, they have lost 7 in a row. They need some coaching up. Right? So, and sometimes you just need a fresh start.
Okay.
Okay, because they fired Dennis Allen.
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're absolutely right.
And there's not a better time to have a fresh start than against a division rival at home because they're playing the Falcons.
Yep.
Okay, so I expect them to find creative ways to get Alvin Kamara the ball because I don't know if y'all have realized this year, but that dude's been balling.
He has.
Okay? The defense to play with a newfound sense of intensity and urgency, and for the eye test, as far as the eye test goes, for all of the viewers to feel like it's the first time in a while where the Saints haven't been outcoached.
Yeah.
That's all I'm looking for. And the Saints are 2-7. They're projected to be at the top of the NFL draft in terms of lottery teams, or however you want to call it. Mm-hmm. There's always a newfound sense of energy when you've got a new leader in the building, and that's what the Saints have this week after they fired Dennis Allen. Let's see what happens Sunday.
So take your fandom out of this.
Okay.
Through that whole rant.
Yeah.
Peyton, I heard the name Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Do you think he should really finish his career in New Orleans?
Oh, I think he already stated that he wants to.
Oh, man. I think he has so much to offer to the game of football that he should probably find a way out of New Orleans.
But he could be a Saints legend if he stays. He's one of the more notable players from the 2017 draft.
I don't know if
he's been on some legendary teams with Drew Brees. If he stays through this rebuild, and is with the Saints as they rise up to be a contender, however long it takes, a year or two.
Yeah.
That would be pretty special. And the Saints have extended him in terms of his contract already. So as far as it goes right now, he's under contract for the Saints, and he's already stated he wants to be a Saint. So.
Well, congratulations to the Saints for realizing that he's a talent that you really can't let walk away.
Yeah.
Big ups to them, but I just feel like, man, like we see players demand trades all the time, and it works, right? I just don't know if that's a spot where if he cares about winning. And I'm no offense, right? No offense. I'm just saying, like, for Alvin Kamara as the player, I'm not looking at the Saints. As Alvin Kamara, the athlete, the running back in the NFL, we've seen Derrick Henry switch teams, and we've seen the success that he's getting. We've seen Saquon Barkley switch teams, and we see the success that he's getting.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara he's been in the NFL for 7 years now.
Yeah.
You know, if he wants to wait this thing out, then big ups to him for being loyal in a day and age where loyalty is hard to come by in professional sports.
For sure.
Big ups to him. But we see how they undervalue running backs in the NFL. So at what point is he going to look out for himself? Right? So just a small note. I understand the fan in you wants him to stay.
Yeah.
But I just don't want – I would hate for him to have a Barry Sanders-like career where you do a lot, but you get nothing in return. You know, and like I said –
But at the same time, Barry is still a legend.
He is. He is. But what does he have to show for it? Accolades. He does have accolades. And I don't think Alvin Kamara has as many accolades as Barry Sanders at all. But
yeah,
it was just
I hear you.
A question that I wanted to put out there.
I don't want to take.
No,
it's okay.
You know,
and that actually brings a greater conversation into play, and we can finish up here after I go, just for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, there's all this talk around like, okay, Saquon Barkley's an MVP candidate. Look at what he's done for the Eagles.
Never said that. I got one MVP in the NFL right now.
All right, who is that?
Lamar Jackson.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Other people are talking about Saquon as like maybe he would be like the second or third most valuable player in the league.
No.
I know you're not, but I'm just bringing it up.
Okay, I mean, I think number 1 and number 2 are on the same team.
Okay, Saquon was drafted in 2018, right? Mm-hmm. What are we going? We're in 2024, 2025 season?
Yep.
How impactful was he for the New York Giants?
Oh, well, he was very impactful for the New York Giants.
Was he?
He had nothing around him. He did what he could.
How much did he impact winning with the New York Giants? Because I went and looked it up today. Last year, he played 14 games. They won 6. This is all I'm trying to say. Saquon's a great player.
He is.
He's thriving because he went to a better organization.
Okay, I think you're getting to my point here. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
This whole idea that, the Giants are, which I'm not high on the Giants by any means, but
nobody is. But go ahead.
Nobody is.
Yeah.
But the fact that they screwed it up for the rest of the league by letting Saquon Barkley go, if the Eagles win a Super Bowl, it's not going to be because Saquon Barkley rushes for 200 yards in a game. I can promise you that.
Eagles won't be winning the Super Bowl.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted.
I was thinking about saving that rant, but the conversation came up at the end of each of our Coach 'em Up segments, so I just figured I'd get into it.
Yeah.
Saquon's a great player. How valuable is he? I'm going to take the lower end in terms of how valuable is he compared to what other people are saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that offense starts with A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Jalen Hurts, quarterback. Their great offensive line. And then, you get to run behind this great offensive line. It's not like freaking Ja Morant went to a different team.
Right.
It's not like that.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
All right, so just to clear it up.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the MVP race, Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
Number 2, Derrick Henry. Number 3, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, okay, I like it. Yeah.
I did think about Patrick Mahomes, but it's not like Patrick Mahomes is lighting it up. Like, he's definitely a very impactful player this year. But I think there's
he's
players
just doing enough.
Yeah, I think there's players out there that's lighting it up a little bit more than he is. And side note, very small note, Jaden Daniels, he threw that Hail Mary in the last game, right?
Against the Bears?
Yes.
Not the last game, but the game before.
Right.
Because they played the Bears and then the Giants. Yeah.
So he threw that Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Do you know where that Hail Mary pass is sitting right now?
I don't.
In the NFL Hall of Fame.
Oh, why?
I have no idea why.
Oh, that's cool.
They have the game ball. They have the gloves. They have the
it's in the Hall
pylon.
of Fame. That's cool.
It's a display at the Hall of Fame right now. Yep.
It was a great moment. Can't take that away.
I mean, we've seen Hail Marys before. I don't know what made that one different, but I just thought that I should note that this Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels went into the Hall of Fame by all means. So
nice, man. That's what's up.
With that being said,
man, we got to catch this game.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to us this evening. It's Friday evening, but for us, it's Thursday. And we just want to say thank you for always tuning in. This was The Full Pour. I'm the host, Russ. That's the expert, Peyton. If you haven't already, man, by all means, follow us on social media and X at The Sportaholics. You can continue the conversation there. You can continue the conversation on YouTube. Smash the subscribe button. If you haven't, please check out all our lineups. We go on every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday here on YouTube, man. And it's always a great conversation, and I love to hear everything that you have to say. If you don't know already, Peyton, I really value your outtakes, your input, and everything that you bring to the table, bro. So continue to do all the hard work, man. And I'm super proud of you.
Ditto.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Yeah. A lot goes into this show, by the way. He always lets you guys know that I'm a man of many hats. It's very tiring, by the way. Yeah. It's very tiring.
I bet, man.
Yeah, man.
You're going to sleep well.
Doing all of this stuff, man. We're human just like you guys. So the least we can ask of you is to engage with us and bring, us a little bit of joy to continue the conversation in the comment section. You can always shoot us a DM and like our posts on social media. So by all means, Peyton, I want to give you the floor to say what you need to say. Excuse me, it's the Evan Williams.
I hear you, man.
Say what you need to say to the people before we get out of here. And when you're done, take it away, bro.
All right,
get us out of here. Get us out of here. Take us home.
You guys see the logo right here, the Sportaholics logo. We're looking to push this brand forward, get ourselves out there, be amongst the people, engage with you guys as much as we can. So we appreciate all the support as always, and thank you for following us. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for engaging with us. We out. Another great episode. Catch us next week. And stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Good stuff, bro.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We out.
Nice, man.
Good stuff, man.
Cool.
I ain't got nothing left. Oh, I got a little bit.
All you got to do is pour it back up. No?
I'm good.